So I always start my workouts with my chest days, typically with a pec deck, just because I love the damn blood flow and the feel I get from it. It kind of wakes the muscle up, makes it so that I can feel it a little bit better in the rest of my exercises. Being that I'm 42 years old now, I need a little bit of a warm up to get everything going. So this isn't really a intense exercise. I'm not trying to lift super heavy. I'm not trying to go to failure. The idea is just to get the joints moving, get the muscles moving, get the blood flowing a little bit, wake up the nerves. Just get everything firing. Let's see.
Walk away a little bit.
For this particular exercise, in the very beginning, at least back in the day, they used to say that you want to imagine wrapping your arms around a tree trunk when you're bringing it in to squeeze, hugging a tree. I found for myself that, I mean, it's a general idea. I understand what they're saying. But for me, when it comes out, when I'm coming up, I want to push forward more. It just activates my chest so much better when I'm pushing forward rather than trying to bring them in. Already, I can feel the pump coming. Do one more set. So, one thing you guys are going to notice, so if you're at least paying attention, is I'm a volume guy. Love volume, love packing it in. One of the things people talk about a lot is junk volume. You know, oh, you shouldn't do junk volume. But, you know, honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with junk volume. In fact, I think junk volume is good for you. Let's see. Get this guy adjusted here. We're going to do a little feeler set just to make sure the bench is sitting the way I like it. Put some weight on there. I don't know what it is, but I've got this thing. I've always had this thing. The plates always have to be facing the same direction on both sides. I don't know what it is, some kind of OCD deal. It's something that I picked up with my Navy boys when I first started, but it was just something we always did. All the plates always had to be facing the same direction, no matter what. You might as well be loading the wrong weight if you put them facing different directions. Hands started slipping. Bump the weight up a little bit more. Need to clean these grips off. I don't know what they had on their hands when they use this thing, but something slippery. Let's try this again. Halfway into the second exercise, I got a damn hellacious pump coming through. That animal pump stuff, it works, bro. It gets that blood flowing. One more set. I'm gonna do a drop set on the next one. We'll see, maybe a double drop set. We'll go 240, and I'll just pull 240 to 180 to 90. It's not too dramatic of a drop. One more. That's intensifiers. The idea there is to make it hard. Even if the weight's going down, make the muscle work. The amount of weight you lift doesn't matter. Sure, bench pressing 405 or whatever is impressive, but I can get a better pump and a better workout doing something like this for 10 to 15 reps. And then just like on the end, you get that last one, you press up where it's failure. You can't press another one after it. That slow release, bringing it down, just stretching that muscle, just making that muscle work and hold that tension. There's nothing like it. That's how you get a workout in. Next, I'm gonna go dumbbell press. We'll do it on this bench here. Because I went so hard on that one, I'm not gonna be as strong in the dumbbell press. I'm gonna start with 70s this time around. Just see how that feels. If you're curious, intro workout, it's a random concoction, honestly, but quick digestion, cyclodextrin carbs, some animal creatine and HMB, and some animal juiced aminos. See how these guys feel. Normally for this, I would choose a solid bench like that one, but it's just, that was too wide, honestly. My shoulder blades can't comfortably move on that one like they can on this one. Not bad. 14. I'll go with that. I really prefer to have my reps somewhere between 12 to 15 before I hit failure. Anywhere in there is fine, but I've said it before, that's how I choose my weights. I would choose my weights based on what reps I fail on, rather than trying to shoot for a weight and pushing it for, you know, whatever, 4, 5, 6, however many it takes. It's not ego lifting anymore, not at this age, and not with the goals that I've got. Every time I step in the gym, you know, like today is chest and back day. Well, in my mind, my chest and my back are lagging body parts. They may not actually be, but in my mind, chest and back are lagging body parts. And I've got to beat the ever-living shit out of them to get them to grow so that I'm competitive. Now, Monday, when I come in for shoulders and arms, in my mind, shoulders and arms are gonna be the one body part or the two body parts that's gonna cost me my competitive edge. So on that day, I gotta beat the ever-living shit out of shoulders and arms to get them to grow so that I'm competitive. Same thing on leg day. My legs, in my mind, are 100% lagging behind. And I work the ever-living shit out of them. It was just in my mind knowing that that's what I need for my competitive edge. Everything is mindset nowadays. Everything. Just having the discipline to be in here every day is all about mindset. It's got to be a priority. You got to have a reason behind it. Motivation will only get you so far. It'll only get you in the door. I got 11 on that one. Same thing on the next one. I'm gonna do a drop set. We'll go to 70s, or from 70s to 40s. Now, when it comes down to it, my reasoning behind all this, yeah, I want to do a show, I want to compete, but honestly, that's short term. The real backstory, the real reasoning is that in my worst nightmares, I see my kids, I see my grandkids needing me to be there and me not being strong enough to be there. And I see them needing me to carry them, pick them up, help them. But without building this strength, without building this discipline, this mental discipline as well, I see myself being weak and just unable to perform. I'm unable to be there for those that need me. By doing this and making this a priority in my life, it allows me to be strong. It allows me to be there for my family, my friends, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, if the time comes. For as long as they need me, I want to be there. And that's really what this is, the deep-rooted in. That's what it's all about. When you have reasoning that's that deep-rooted, there's no excuse strong enough to prevent me from being in here. There's no excuse strong enough to prevent me from lifting this weight. And most people think that guys like me are looking at themselves in the mirror, we're being egotistical, but the real truth of it is that I'm looking at all the problems. I see this shoulder sits higher than this shoulder. This trap is higher. I see one arm's bigger than the other. I see one lat connects lower than the other lat. And in my mind, I'm looking for all the different ways to fix that. Yeah, we like the pump, we like the way it looks, but we're still judging ourselves constantly. Body dysmorphia is real for guys like me. We're here for some cable flies now. Start with 40 and see how that feels.
Six watts an hour. Not
bad. When I was younger and was just starting out and working out with all the guys and everything, it was all about weight. Max bench press, max deadlift. How much can you squat? Who can lift the bigger dumbbell? But over time, you learn that just doesn't really get the results you're looking for. Yeah, you can gain on that, and I mean, honestly, I'm a believer that to really get started, you have to lift heavy ass weight. But you have to lift it smartly and not overload yourself. Sometimes the best thing you can do is knock the weight down just a little bit so that you can actually feel the muscle working. When you're starting out, especially things like bench press, you don't realize it. It's, you're just stacking weight on the bar, but you're lifting with your shoulders, you're lifting with your triceps, even your lats play a part in it because you don't actually feel the muscle working. All you're concentrating on is just moving the weight. I mean, it's fine to start out with. Eventually you're gonna hurt yourself, but at some point you have to realize that if you're trying to build size, you have to get to a point where you can feel the muscle work. We're gonna bump the weight up on the next one. Failure is a big topic of mine. The biggest issue I see when it comes to people getting in the gym, starting out, people have been in the gym for years. Hell, new clients who've never worked with a trainer before, they don't truly understand the concept of failure. Their trainer, whoever, or they'll get a plan off the internet and it'll be bench press, 3 sets, 12 reps. So they'll pick a weight and they'll do 12 reps. It won't be failure. They probably could have done 20, but the plan said 12 reps. The idea of failure is alien to them, but it's one of the biggest, for me at least, it's one of the biggest driving forces of growth. You have to challenge the body. You have to challenge the body to grow. If you don't give it a challenge, it's got no reason to grow. It's got no reason to change. Going to failure and finding that failure point is the first thing I do with new clients. I'll put them on an exercise, whether we're using something like dumbbells or cable curls or whatever it is, a simple exercise that they can do, and I will push them to complete failure. That way I can say, okay, that's the point where you stop. You don't have to go to failure on every set, especially starting out. I mean, even a little bit of work is going to be better than what you were doing before. You're going to see a little bit of a result, but when the time comes, you have to do at least 1 set of failure from time to time just to get some challenge going in there. Damn. All right, we're gonna move in the back now. Actually, with the mag grip right now. So now that I'm starting a new body part, it's not so much warm up, because even with the chest and stuff, you like the stretching, the moving, the back gets a little bit of blood going to it, but it's more or less just waking up the muscle and letting it know that it's time to work. So we go with a little bit lighter weight, just kind of a feeler set, I guess is what I like to call them. We did 24 on that one. Like I said, just a feeler set, just to get the muscle moving and wake everything up. Now we'll bump the weight up just a little bit. Bump the weight up just a little bit more. I'll tell you, man, the changes that I've made, it's hard to believe that I went from where I was to this in, what, a year and a half, almost 2 years. Oh, it's crazy. I never thought I would look like this. And I'm still improving, I'm still growing, which is crazy to me. I always thought that I had subpar genetics. I was never athletic, but this is something all new to me. It's crazy. It felt good. I'm gonna bump it up and do one more. I tell you, hiring a coach made all the difference. I made a huge jump by myself. I lost, dropped 25 pounds, and I looked pretty damn good doing it. The real difference came when I hired a coach. He took and kind of looked at what I was doing and showed me the way, I guess. And now here I am. I was 250, 255 at my heaviest and fattest. I dropped 25 pounds and got, I won't say skinny fat, but you could tell I had a little muscle on me or whatever, but it wasn't nothing like this. And here I am, 230, just feeling amazing. It's hard to beat. All right, let's sit. Make them count. Yeah. That's good. Then we're gonna walk back over to the next room and do dumbbell row. I'm gonna do it off the bench this time around. I'm gonna start with 70s, see how that feels. Got a little bit of a forearm pump going from the mag grip on that last exercise. So we're gonna start using the straps. When it comes to this stuff, yeah, you should have grip strength. But on back day, your grip strength should not be the fail point. Use freaking straps. Use Versa grips because you're not training grip on back day. I'm not sure I like this on the bench. I may change to the rack for the next one. Every so often, especially during like dumbbell rows, my erectors will light up and be the fail point. Yeah, I think we're gonna go off the rack on the next one. Still struggling to kind of catch my breath. Last weekend, well, into last week, Friday or so, I got sick, and it's more like a sinus issue than anything else. It was just sinus, my nose was clogged up, chest congestion, head congestion, drainage at night. I was coughing up all kinds of shit. And even now, a week later, well, I'm still struggling to kind of catch my breath. I don't have any of the other issues, but still struggling to catch my breath in between sets. When you're doing exercises like this, where it's one side at a time, left side, right side like this, or dumbbell curl where you're doing one arm at a time, even on like leg press, if you're doing one leg at a time, take a minute in between to catch your breath. Don't instantly jump from left to right because you're setting yourself up for a disadvantage. You want to have your heart rate down. You want to be just as fresh starting on the second side as you was on the first side. The idea is to do the best work with the highest quality, not the fastest work. Whew. Feeling that. People who are just starting out in the gym, there's no reason to have an arm day. None whatsoever. Until your back and your chest are strong, you don't need to do arm day. Because the truth of it is that your arms are going to get destroyed on chest day and back day. You're pulling and you're pushing. That's biceps and triceps, they're involved. Really in the beginning, before you really learn to work the muscles, you're using your arms most of the time anyway, so they're gonna grow. they're going to get stronger. There's no reason to take a whole day just to do biceps and triceps. Same thing with shoulders. There's no reason to do those. You can do chest day, back day, and leg day for the first year being in the gym, and you're going to see some great improvement. Your arms will grow, your shoulders will grow. Once you got some size on you, you got some strength on you, then you might consider throwing an arm day in there if your arms are actually lagging. Some people find that arms aren't really lagging just because on push day and pull day, you're using arms because you're not really dialed in on using chest and back yet. Takes me to the science-based lifting community. I've got kind of a off-canter view of science-based. I think there's some validity to science-based, but I think the idea of science-based has been skewed and is now lost because too many people are focused on the minutia that doesn't really matter. They're trying to get that one little 1% of a percent of a percent of, efficiency out of a movement instead of just moving some damn heavy ass weight and building the muscle. I seen a guy one time, he was doing lat pull downs. You're basically taking the bar and you're pulling it down, and the idea is to pull with your back. You're pulling it just like this. He had his damn arms in pipes, like 4-inch PVC pipe to keep his arms straight while he was pulling down. Instead of just learning to do the exercise and building the muscle, he had zero size to him. You got to start with the basics. You got to learn to bench press. You got to learn to do these dumbbell rows. You got to learn to move some barbells before you start focusing on that minutia. There's guys like Jared Feathers, Mike, all those guys at RP Strength, I consider them science-based. They have the studies. John Jewett, these people, they have the studies, they have the information to back up what they're doing, but they aren't so focused on the minutia that it just takes away from everything else. That's the real science-based lifting. What they call science-based lifting now is just people trying to avoid hard work. They're looking to be more efficient to avoid the hard work. Instead of headline reading bullshit studies, they need to be focusing on learning from people that have gone before them. Evan Sinapani, Arnold's, and all the big guys. You got the Nick Walkers and the Hadi Chupons. All these guys are doing hard, heavy-ass work. If the minutia mattered, then these guys would be focused on science-based lifting, but they're not. Holy shit. All right, so just finished these. We're gonna head back to the next room and do some T-bar rows. Not bad. Should have took just another minute longer before hopping on that one, but it's all right. We just started a cut this week. Well, we really just started hitting the cut this week. Coach pulled back some calories, pulled back some carbs. Still feeling okay though. My weight's kind of fluctuating between like 127 and 130. Starting tomorrow, I got a high carb day tomorrow. Then we cut back even more. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to it. You start seeing the abs come in nice and tight. You start losing that little bit of fat that 40-year and older guys start carrying around our midsection. The love handles, everything starts getting tight. I'm ready for that. But we got 10 weeks before my vacation comes up. Not only vacation, it's the retying the knot ceremony for me and my wife. And it's gonna be more, it's not really a vacation, it's more of a second honeymoon, I guess. But we come back from that second honeymoon, we go to the Olympia. She's doing a kind of a fashion show setup in the Olympia for one of the bikini sponsors. When we come back from that, kicks off the growth season, and I'll have just shy of a year, so I have about 10 months, 11 months to really put on some size and get ready for my show. Add a little weight. My erectors are starting to flare up on me. It's always been kind of a weak point. It's getting stronger, but it's one of those things I'll end up having to go chest supported row next. Maybe a pull up first, but I have to kind of take my lower back and my legs out of the equation so that I can keep working. Let's go, bitch. Do a little dead hang a minute to stretch out, and then we're gonna hit that chest supported row in the corner over there. It is completely obvious how uneven my body is when I'm doing this. One side is completely off compared to the other. Hopefully I can hide that in posing though. Back to work. I'm gonna keep this one kind of light. See what that feels like. See the inside handles. I'm gonna switch back to the wide handles on that one. I'm not really feeling those inside handles, at least not where I should. I've gotten fond of a guy named Colossus Ken. He's an athlete, he's an animal athlete, but he's a up and coming bodybuilder, and he's on his way up. He's got a great damn physique, a great attitude and mentality about him. And just watching some of his stuff, man, you pick up a lot of good information. And one of the things I picked up about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, one of his videos on his back day training was all about dropping the weight and feeling the muscle. I realized that I'd gotten into the habit of not so much chasing the number, but pushing for the idea of progressive overload without actually feeling it in the muscle. Watching Colossus Ken reminded me that sometimes the best thing you can do is just kind of drop the weight, work on making the muscle work and feeling the muscle do the work. And the other side of that is that, like he said, if you don't feel it in that muscle, then it's not worth doing. Find something else. And he's really not wrong. We're gonna give these wide handles a try. I'm gonna kind of change up a little bit of the area that we're working in the back, but that's all right. We're gonna tax the hell out of the back either way. Yeah, that's good. When it comes to working body parts and working muscles, you also got to be aware of exactly what you're trying to do. So for this one, you think about it, it's a chest supported row. Your feet are no longer on the floor. The idea is to take all that leg drive out of the equation. So you want to be on this bench flat. And when you pull, the moment you start lifting up like this, you're no longer putting the emphasis on your back anymore where it needs to be. You're stretching your lower back. You're working other muscles. You're pulling with your arms, your shoulders. You're taking the emphasis off the muscle you're trying to work, which comes back to dropping the weight a little bit so that you work the muscle and you feel it. Just so y'all know, I'll show y'all this. I'm not picking my phone up for social media. I'm recording exercises, recording weights, tracking everything. That's the RP Strength app, which is actually really, really good for people who are kind of just starting out in the gym. and need something to coach them through progressive overload, the app's really good at doing that. I'm more of a lift heavy ass weight to failure. It's more of just a tracking app for me. I prefer being able to see all the analytics and stuff at the end, seeing how many sets and all that kind of stuff I do. It does a real good job at tracking my weights for me, but it's worth it if you're looking for something. Go over here and do, let's see, what do I want? I'm gonna do close grip. You need to up the weight just a little bit. 30 to 150 and see what happens. My carb drink is the first fill up. I'll drink all it down. And then after that, it's just 2.5 liters of water follow. So all in all, I guess I'm drinking about 3.5 liters of fluid, not counting my pre-workout drink while I'm here in the gym. That's kind of wild, actually. That's a lot of damn water. But on the bright side, I get to go home and eat after this. Post-workout meal is a 60-gram bowl of Rice Krispies in a strawberry protein shake. So I don't use milk. I use the strawberry protein shake instead, and it's amazing. Oh my God. Definitely something to look forward to every day. You know, when you eat basically chicken and rice 4 to 5 times a day, having something like Rice Krispies is a hell of a treat. 18, way more than expected. Over the last couple of weeks, well, over the last month or so, I've just been super strong. My damn strength is just skyrocketing. It's hard to explain, but feels good. And I actually came in earlier this week just to play around and maybe test my strength a little bit, just see where I stand comfortably with a squat, a deadlift, and a bench press. And I actually impressed myself. I didn't think I was gonna be that strong. I was able to squat 315, deadlift 405, and bench press 285 comfortably for reps. I was not expecting that at all. If it keeps going like it's going, I might go ahead and submit for the Rogue 1,000-pound club while I'm at it. Something else to throw in the mix. Might be fun to do. It's hard to describe how good that feels. I'm gonna clean this up and we're gonna move right back into the other room for some dumbbell shrugs, and that'll be it for chest and back. Yeah, I know it's just 70s, but my grip is shot. So we're gonna strap up. We're gonna bump up to the hundreds and see how those feel. The damn striations across the chest is crazy. Lower back's flared up pretty good. I'm fighting it. It felt pretty good. This looks like still got a lot of work to do. Whole lot of work to do. Hell of a workout though. As we're going to call it done for the day. I'm toast and I'm hungry. It's time to eat. If you got anything from watching me do all this, if anything's rang true with you, like, share, subscribe, Follow me on Instagram. You know, it's going to be a long journey, but I'd love to have you with me.